Hello, my name is Dr. Ulbrich, and we look now into the Fear and Greed stock and equity trading tool. Um, the stock and I use the stock and equity trading tool in a different way than I use it on the futures. Because on the futures, I normally trade it fully automated. Means I simply trade the strategy as it is. Here, I made a scanner with a TradeStation radar screen, and I made an indicator out of the strategy. And for example, we are currently in mid-January 2013, and the market is in some kind of longer-term up move right now. But in this up move, here with the scanner, I see and that the Africa index is in the fear mode, and we will click there right now, and you can see here all the markets are internationally, all the markets are up, and just Africa have come down a little bit. And I started a manual trade because I normally look into these indicators if some things pop up and do manually trade. And normally you have, if you have a kind of indicator, you don't know if the indicator is good. And it's very hard to say how successful is my indicator. Here it's quite easy because I have linked this radar screen with the indicator. And what you can see is that if you have traded the indicator how it is, or if you have traded the strategy how it is, you would have earned this, and it would look like this. And I made basically three groups. This is the first group. The first group is only countries, and only countries or country indices. And here you can see the indices of the countries which are normally traded or which are existing from iShares. And if you go through, you will see that the strategy is on some indices it's very good, on some indices it's not so good. But keep in mind that the strategy settings are always the same, because I always use these strategy settings, and the strategy will be better if, for example, you test it on one of these indices and you optimize it. You will have different results. So keep it in mind that is always the same strategy. And as you look here, you can see that I made three different groups. This is a group of countries. This is a group of different S&P sectors. And for example, when we look into the consumer staples sector, here we see that the strategy behaves more or less good. And for example, our last time to trade was here. And these dots always build up at the end of the trading day. So you are able to start in the next morning. Here, for example, the materials and I think the financials are quite good here. And on the financials, you can see that the strategy works well. And keep in mind, the settings is always the same. And so this is the second group. The second group is from sectors. And there's the third group. And on the third group, I simply did a scan to check where the strategy works well with exactly these fixed settings. And we can go through here. For example, it's a company called Horton. And we go through just to see some of them. And the benefit here is that you can split your money in smaller portions. So if you don't like to trade the future contracts, you can have a relatively good diversification by trading all these strategies here. And when you trade all these strategies, you should see that you distribute your money equally, or maybe a little bit more to the better ones, I don't know. And if you are doing this, you also need to care about the volatility. That means how much the stock is moving up or down. Of course, you need to consider the total price and the volatility. And you can write a tool which distributes your money in a right way. And you can always trade the strategies, or you can simply use it as an indicator. And as we are in the mid of an uptrend, so basically we are nowhere, we don't have a fear point and we do not have a greed point here. So there's nothing to do for us today. But you see, we can immediately see it. So it was only the African thing where we could trade something. If you look into these performance reports, and I think it's a good indicator that the strategy is not over-optimized, because remember, there is no trick here or nothing else. It's always the same setting here. And you can see the same setting is valid for a relatively huge number of different stocks. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. I wish you a lot of success with your trading, and keep in mind you can use different settings here from the strategy, and you will be able to trade different stocks. So bye bye. Okay, at the end of our video we will look at some stocks trading the fear and greed strategy. As you know from the futures, this is an optimized stock, and you can see here how the strategy works. It goes in when the stock dips and holds the position as long as it is possible, or as long as it is necessary. And you can see here, in such if such things happen, that it goes down and up, the strategy earns money. And where the strategy has issues is if there, and you can see here, even if there is a big drawdown in the stock itself, it does not mean that the strategy is necessarily losing money. So we look through here, and basically we see a lot of good trades. This, for example, quite a good trade here. And if we look at on the aggregated level on the performance report, we can see, I always took 10 years here, that the strategy makes 12,000 in 10 years. You can say it's not so much, but it's always, when we look at it right now, it's always for 100 shares. And 100 shares, the stock is trading at approximately, I think, $75. So it's an investment from $7,500. Approximately. And if you earn 12,000 on a 7,500 investment, it's quite a good result, even for 10 years. And here you can see the performance graph, and we will look through all the equities right now and all the performance graphs. And I just took a couple of stocks to see and to show you something. But it does not mean, or does not necessarily mean, that there are no other stocks. This one looks good, and here this one looks good. This one looks good. Okay, this is what I want to show at the end, and this workspace is not included because it's always only possible to include one workspace at TradeStation. But if you are interested, I can send you the workspace if you give me an email. I wish you a lot of success. Bye bye.